So, well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. The first, I guess before we go into the company, I think it's always interesting to find out how did this all happen. So why are you here? Well, the reason you're here is because we found out about Jeunesse not even a year ago, and I'd like to go through the information because it's pretty interesting, the story of how this all happened, because we were not looking for a business, absolutely not looking for a business. My husband Pierre was already busy doing working on his company. And I had a home staging business, which I still do. Two children, 5 and 6 years old, and I was also building with another network marketing company in the skincare industry. When we were approached with Jeunesse, we were not open at all. We were approached by someone that we knew within the industry. We've been in the industry for a combined 35 years. We met in the industry. And so the lady that we knew in the industry contacted us and said, there's something that's brand new, it's coming to Canada, and it's got a revolutionary technology in stem cell technology. Would you want to look at it? Would you be interested? And Pierre said, absolutely not. We're not, we are not looking for another business. And he said, well, what about Christine? I hear she's doing the other company. And he said, no, she's really doing a big push with her team. She's really busy with that. She wanted me to be open. And then she said, and today I'm so thankful she said what she said, but she said, well, would you do me a favor and would you look at it and would you give me your feedback? And that was the absolute best thing that she could have did. Because how can you say no to that? And because we had a relationship with her, we said, you know what, sure, Lena, we'll have a look at it. And it was mainly Pierre, I have to say. It's not we're going to look at it because I was like this. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I didn't want to look into it. So fast forward a couple of weeks after, she sends us information and she sends us a sample of this serum that she's been talking about. So this serum is supposed to be revolutionary, new to Canada, and it's a little sample that's about this big. And the sample arrives and we look at it and we just started to laugh because we thought, well, this is just... Well, look at that. This is absolutely ridiculous. How can a little sample like that do absolutely anything? And remember, I was with another skincare company. And with the skincare company I was working with, we pride ourselves on loaning clients retail size products. So one kit cost me about $400. And I had about 8 or 9 kits, and I would loan them. And when I saw that little sample, Karen, I said, well, there's a good example why companies in this industry will fail. I mean, we really just knocked it down.
This is why people don't succeed in this industry.
This is why people will not succeed. So we were so underwhelmed with the product that we left it on the kitchen counter for 3 weeks. And then Lena called back, and Pierre had given his word. And being the integrous person that he is, and he said, Lena, I've been really busy, I'm really sorry. Yes, I'm going to try it. Now, we had also looked at the information online. And when we looked at the information, we quite frankly didn't believe anything that we saw. So we saw these before and after pictures. And all the before and after pictures that we saw, I don't know if you've seen the videos. Have you seen? You've probably seen people that are Canadian, not Asian, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so the people that you've seen are Canadian. They're all people in our team, so we know them. The people that we saw were Asian descendant because Jeunesse started out in Asia. That's where they launched. They strongly launched in Asia 5 years ago, which is usually the reverse. In the industry of network marketing, companies will come and start in North America and then will launch in other countries slowly but surely. But they started in Asia and now have come to North America. Really, about 2 years ago, started having a presence in North America. So we looked at the Asian before and after, and we didn't believe it. We didn't believe that the product could do that. So Pierre decides to try the product, doesn't tell me, and he goes off to Toronto on business. And he actually said, I'm going to disprove it. I'm going to use your products, fantastic, expensive products, on one side of the face, and I'm going to use the Jeunesse serum just so I can disprove it and I can call Lena and say, listen, I've tried it, it doesn't work, thank you very much. So that's what he did. He tried the product on half of his face and then he went off. He was actually going to be appearing on Canada AM. And the night before he was to appear on Canada AM, he went in the mirror of the hotel and saw a major difference with his crow's feet. Not that you have that many, honey. But
less now, maybe.
He's going to be 50 in 2 months.
I need a lot of help.
So Jeunesse came in at a very great time in our lives. But 75% diminishment in the crow's feet. Massive difference.
I saw the same thing.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Within
Here?
On you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they know
They're
that.
gone.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're gone.
You should have did half your face. Did we not tell you to do that?
I took a picture before and I'm not walking around with half my face.
I
done.
know.
Okay, but
I see TV all the time.
True, right. But listen, Pierre said to me, so at this point in time, I didn't even know that he had those results. And thankfully, he was in Toronto, and Lena was in Toronto, and the person that introduced Lena was in Toronto as well. And Pierre made some phone calls, sat down with the people, and he said, we have to have a look at this. And you know, just a little spin to the story, because it's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. So I was having a really bad day, and I was having a challenging day with my business, my skincare business and my team. And Pierre called me from Toronto, and I didn't even know he had results. I didn't even know he had met with the people. We talked after all of that happened, and he says to me, "Well, honey, I think I have some good news for you and your team. You know this Jeunesse thing?" Is how he presented it to me, and I was
that
like,
presentation, right?
yeah, no, it was so bad, so bad. You know, men want to kind of fix it all, you know. I have a solution. I have a solution for you. Anyways, so when he came back that night, it was 10 o'clock at night, and I heard the car in the driveway, and he pulled in. I met him outside. I took his laptop back. I said, "Inside, let's go. Take your glasses off. Let me see." I looked at the results, and I went, "Fudge." It wasn't fudge, but I said fudge. We're on cameras. I could not believe it. And I wasn't sold yet, but I knew that there was something to this. So then what happened is that, having had the experience in the industry, so we built a business in the healthcare. And in healthcare, what we found, and I'm sure Natalie will agree with this, is that it is slower to grow a business in the health field, because results take time, and because the whole process of trying something and taking it off and seeing
Another quick fix society, I call it.
Yeah.
So, come on, right now, right?
Mm-hmm. So we did the business in the health field, and then I did with the skincare. And what we realized with the skincare, and Natalie and I had this discussion. I remember in your office one day, people are vain. People want to look good, and people want results like this. So what I learned with that company was that skincare sells. And what we learned as well is that in the industry of network marketing, 8 out of the top 10 companies are skincare based. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit of an eye. So and we're thankful for my experience with the other company, because it made us look at Jeunesse differently. We had different pair of glasses to look at Jeunesse. And the company actually at that point in time flew us to corporate to go and meet the owners, the corporate team, the medical doctor. And I went with care. I wasn't sold yet. I went because I had a commitment with the team. So I had 35 people that we were working together. So I went with Pierre, and I said, "I'll go with you because we're a team. And I'll go and evaluate it with you, and if you want to move forward," because we hadn't decided, and Pierre hadn't decided, "but if you want to move forward with this, I will be happy to give you my blessing, and I'll continue what I'm doing, and we can both build our thing." So we went to corporate, and I have to say the experience was hard to put in words. Down-to-earth people. The owners are really, they came from humble beginnings, have not forgotten where they've come from. They have heart, they have passion. They really want to help the distributors. They're really there to help and make a difference and make a huge impact in society. They absolutely incredible business people. So we spent 2 hours with owners. I mean, that's unheard of. Even to actually go, I know that Pierre with the other company was at the top of the company. He had to reach the top of the company. And there's no way he could have even had a 5-minute meeting with the CEO. It would never happen. So here we are with the owners, 2-hour meeting. We met the entire team, and we were just absolutely blown away. And when we went there, we only went knowing this serum, this skincare. And we found out they had a bunch of health products as well that either we have a box there, the Reserve. So we found out they had other technology in the health field, and we thought, oh wow, this is just, now we're talking. I mean, this is that skincare and health, combining them together. Pierre likes to say, you know, the whole Jerry Maguire, you had me at hello, well, you had me at serum. Like, the serum was good enough for us, but now to add the component of having health technologies. So I think it was 10:30 in the morning, and I looked at Pierre and I said, I'm in. We're gonna build this together, and came back, and this is not even a year ago. And today we have, we mentioned over 2,500 people in the team, distributors and clients. Our business has expanded to 8 countries, and our monthly sales are $200,000 monthly sales. And the reason why it's done this is because of what we talked about, is because of the people are visual, and the results we can pass around. We have before and after booklet. The results are incredible, and you can see them. So because of the results, it has been result driven and product driven. So that's our story. And again, I'm very happy that Lena followed up with us, and because we wouldn't be here today.
There is more to the story, but
there
you don't
is.
have to sit
Not
on camera.
not on
We'll talk
camera.
about it after.
Not on camera, no. We have another story to add to that. So,
Okay, we'll have to-
So we're going to get through this PowerPoint presentation. I've shared a lot within our story, but then Pierre's going to go through you're going to have to click, please. So this is, when Jeunesse was founded, when we started with two products. We started with the serum, the Luminesse, and we started with the Reserve. So this is the story. We're going to show a video of Dr. Newman. So Dr. Newman is responsible for the serum. And the story is actually interesting with that as well. It was sort of a chance story. Randy and Wendy are the owners, and Randy needed a knee replacement. He needed a knee replacement, and to avoid that, he was looking into stem cell, doing treatment with stem cell technology. And he had options. He could have gone to Asia to go see a doctor. Or he could have gone to California. Well, California is obviously closer, so they went to California to meet with Dr. Newman. And Wendy and Randy were sitting down in his office, and as they were waiting for Dr. Newman, there was these pictures around, and these before and after pictures of scars as well, burns, and there was pictures of this little bottle, and he thought, is this for real? So when Dr. Newman came in, and they asked, what is this? And he said, oh, this is a product that I developed using stem cell technology. And I've developed it for my patients who recover from surgery or from burns, or as a product that they can use at home. And they said, well, do you make money? Do you sell this? Oh, yes, I sell about 40 a month. And Wendy and Randy, already being in the industry of network marketing and understand how powerful word of mouth is, they're an awesome team. They're a husband and wife, but they're an awesome business team as well. They looked at each other, and they communicated. They didn't even have to say anything. They looked at Dr. Newman, and they said, well, how would you like to sell 40,000 a month? And that was in May of 2009. And by September 9th, they launched Jeunesse with the serum. That's how quickly it happened.
It was March, actually, not May. March.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it was March. So from March to September.
6 months.
Yes, 6 months. Within 6 months. Do you have who's viewed the video? Because we may not have to view it again. Christine, did you see the video? Mm-hmm. Oh, everybody's seen the video, so we're not going to go through the video. Perfect.
All good.
Perfect. So that's Dr. Newman. And really world leader in stem cell technology, and he keeps doing more work within the industry.
He's
as well.
going to run the Nobel Prize.
No.
Okay.
That's Dr. Jim Papa.
Okay.
Vincent Jim Papa. Okay. Moving on to that already. So in the serum, there's no. That's the one thing we get a lot of questions. Is there stem cells in the serum? There isn't. And the reason why there isn't is that my stem cells, Pierre's stem cells, all of our stem cells are completely different. They are not compatible together. However, how our stem cells communicate is the same method of delivery, and it's with growth factors. Within a bottle of serum, we have 200 with 200 growth factors in a serum. The percentage is 82%, 85% of active ingredients. When you look at other products line, and I've been with the other skincare company, your percentage is never that high. So it's extremely high. Moving on. Now I'm going to pass it to Pierre. Pierre's going to go through our youth enhancement system. So they have, so Jeunesse's message is anti-aging inside and out. And it's a very close-knit group of products. You're not going to find 400 different products. They all serve a really great purpose and are all geared to making us look better and feel better.
On the skincare line, so the core ingredient is the serum, because 85% of that is, like Kristen said, it's not 1% or 0.1% active ingredient. It's 85% the medium that they capture all the growth factors in is that. In the other products, and so there's a cleanser, there's no stem cell activation in that, there's no growth factors in that. But all the products are natural. That was important, actually, very important for Christine when she evaluated Red Beach, so no parabens and no mineral oils and all the bad, dirty dozens as they're called.
No, mean 15.
Mean 15, dirty
dozen
dozen.
is the food.
Okay, there you go, the
What's
mean 15.
that? It's mean 15.
Mean
Dirty
15.
dozen is the
The
food.
food, okay. So I got it, mean 15.
Mean 15.
So there's none of those. So that was important because that was a big part of what Christine was involved with, was doing before. So right away, that's a big deal. But then after that, they have, obviously, the serum doesn't moisturize. The serum doesn't do things that, of course, other products do. So the good news on that is if someone already has a skincare line that they really, really love, no problem. You simply add the serum to any of those lines, because there's no lines in the world that have the growth factors in the serum. So you already have an already established marketplace. And we'll talk about the business in a few minutes, but that was a big deal. To already have, being an industry that 90% of people are probably already using something is a big deal. And then you don't come in the way of that, you can add to that. But of course, for the ones that would like to have products that have even more growth factors, then they can do that. The day cream for Jeunesse has 5%. All the other products have 5% concentration of the growth factors also.
Mm-hmm. And there's one thing I want to point out, there's no eye cream and there's no toner. And the reason why we don't have those two products is that the serum does so much more than the toner and an eye cream would anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. And so that the day cream, there's an SPF of 30 on that. They have a night cream also, and they have a whole body cream also for that. So all those are an entire line for the skincare. And when Jeunesse started, they believed, I believe Christine mentioned this, that it's inside and out. And so they didn't want to be a skincare company that then brings in health products, or being a health company and, we're going to have skincare products. As is done often. They realized that there's no way you can talk about anti-aging. They wanted to be an anti-aging company, and they believe it's inside and out. It's both. So they started with the serum and the Reserve. Those were the first two products. And Christine could pass around some Reserve there. You can try that out. The Reserve is a very powerful blend of fruit extracts, very powerful in regards to antioxidant, especially with the ingredient resveratrol. And resveratrol is the product that you might have heard already, probably one of the most powerful anti-aging products in the market. It's in red wine, right? That's the whole thing about the studies happening. The French don't die any faster. And because of the resveratrol in red wine. Now,
Sorry. No, that's okay. I'm diabetic.
no problem at all.
No, you can take it.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
you
the
can take
total
it.
calories was at 30 calories in the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but you know what the sugar is?
Yeah, well, we talked to some of the doctors, and because of the content of the sugar is so low, it was an issue.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So that was important. And the interesting thing about that also is you probably have to drink about 185 bottles of red wine to be able to get the resveratrol content in. Exactly. And then you wouldn't have to, right? That's right. To get the benefits of the resveratrol in there. So, powerful in regards to antioxidants, anti-inflammation, all those kind of benefits. Very quick acting, so powerful product. And some amazing stories linked to that product specifically.
Absolutely.
And one of them was, and of course we don't claim any medical statement, of course, but one of the stories is the sister of my brother-in-law. And she had a skin issue that was significant. Actually, her pictures are in there. A big patch of white and flaky and all that stuff on the leg. Yeah, so that's Monique also. And Monique had that since she was young, very young, in her teens. And so, I mean, she wouldn't go for swimming or anything like that. If you look, if you want to go through and people would look and find it really weird. So, and she's like me, she's turning 50 this year, so.
You don't see me?
No.
I'm not here.
No. And so she started with a serum, put that on there, and 80% of it disappeared within 5 days. It was the biggest revelation for her. It was like unbelievable, and then she got really excited about, Jeunesse and the business and everything else. And then she started to use Reserve. Not because she ever particularly thought it, we didn't tell her that it might
Well, we had heard stories from Asia.
We did. A few stories. We thought, well, that could be interesting. She went on there 2 months later. All of it disappeared.
Wow.
All of it.
But what you're forgetting is that she had it.
I'm not forgetting. I'm about to get to that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was going to go with the big punchline, which she totally removed.
I'm so sorry.
But what we didn't know.
So sorry.
Is that she also had it in her head. And she would put obviously serum in there. She had it all there. Her hairstylist was telling her, you're going to lose your hair because the follicles were dying and all that stuff. And so 2 months later, it all disappeared. And the only thing she could think about was the Reserve. So, being diligent, she stopped using it. Let me just find out. About a week and a half later, it all came back. Got back on Reserve, all disappeared. And so it was all through the summer now, it's all been gone, never came back. And all she uses is the Reserve. Because it comes from the inside. So that was a big deal. There's another one in regards to, that we heard this morning actually, in regards to female issues that is now needing a full operation. Right, because of monthly issues, and within 2 months, all the symptoms disappeared. All gone. So quite amazing things on that.
I'm curious what does it cure.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking about, yeah, exactly.
Interestingly enough, this often
Find out, yeah.
what we
That would
found
be good for you too. Got results. Yeah.
in the Jeunesse business. Well, this has actually become the biggest seller in Asia, the Reserve. And the way that we saw this is almost like you get the visual hook, right? Because people are we're skeptical. We're not believing anything. So in society overall, so to have a product, and there was a study actually that was conducted that way, that the common thread among all consumers of all industries, skepticism, for good reasons. So to be able to have something visual nullifies that really easily. And it's like the hook, right? Like, oh, yeah, so, wow, it's amazing. But what happens in the meantime is people get information about the other products. And they say, oh, I'll try that. And often they try it for free because you get a couple of customers with the Reserve Opus serum and you get your serum for free. And everybody gets that almost within 1 to 2 months and all the products are free. So they often get 2 products, but they only get 1. Affinity is really caught my attention because I've been investigating this as I am getting older. Of course, I understood telomeres. I've been around that my whole life, and I thought, what's the latest? And it was weird. A few years before then, I went and Googled, and what are the latest in regards to telomere and lengthening telomere length? Because it's been discovered and confirmed that really the reason why we age is because the telomeres, which are at the end of our DNA, and they're like little capsules. They're like the plastic at the end of the shoelace, that tip. That protects. And then the shoelace sort of breaks down, and then everything, the whole thing falls apart. And so those little bits are really long when we're born, and then they become shorter every time the cell duplicates. So as we get older, just shortens it at one point in time. It's actually about a third to 2/3 the length. It can no longer duplicate, and so now we have a cell that dies and can no longer replicate itself, and aging starts. And that's everywhere. In certain areas where we probably push harder and damage more, and the cells have died and replicated more often, those are normally the ones that get hit first. And so there's nothing in the world that you can consume that can lengthen short telomeres until Affinity was found out. Actually, there's an ingredient in Affinity called TA65 that was identified early year 2000s by a company named TA Sciences. And that they did studies in animals, and they did studies in humans, and it lengthened short telomeres, literally stopping cellular aging. Now, did you see, I don't know if you saw the video. Did you see the video? That was one of the videos.
Affinity?
The length of
Have you
affinity
seen
is
that?
cellular aging and seizure.
We should play it
That's a
after.
cool. That's
It's
a
a
cool
good.
one.
It's a
Actually,
good
you
one
can.
to play. Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you click on, move the cursor right on there?
I don't think it's this one. It's the following page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was that one.
How was it?
I did do page up.
Oh really?
Page down.
Sorry. So click on it. Did you change it for this?
Oh, then you're right. You're absolutely right.
Sorry.
This is later on the video. So we're going to play a video later on of affinity. And so that was revolutionary. Obviously, the Nobel Medical Prize in 2009 was all about confirming that telomere lengthening, telomere shortening is the reason why we age. So if you can actually stop that, you can literally stop aging in regards to the cellular level. And so Affinity is the only product, with K65 is the only product that does that, and it was only available in medical clinics for quite a few years. And you need to pay, at the beginning, actually, $26,000.
If you go on Amazon right now, type in TA65, it's $600.
Yep, $600 to $800, how much it costs in medical clinics a month to be able to get the products. So Affinity, which is T65 plus other components that are really, really powerful in themselves also, is available for a third of that price. So it's not $10, but it is by far the most powerful anti-aging product on the market today. And the results on that in regards to how people feel in regards to recovery from exercise, soreness, joint issues, and all that has been quite remarkable just on that. But the studies, of course, in humans and the follow-up studies of people that have been taking it, often between the age of 60 and 80, is a reduction in all the major issues of health, like bone density, cholesterol, blood sugar, getting younger by about 8 to 30 years. And what was interesting is that they said, wow, those results are very similar actually to people that start exercising for like a decade, you know. But the interesting part is that most of those people in that follow-up study were already exercising, which means that the mechanism of action is it's over what exercise does. Right? It works differently. The way that it does is that it's natural, by the way. It's from the astragalus plant. And what the TA65 does is it increases the enzyme that is now very low in our body, the enzyme that naturally increases the length of telomeres. That enzyme is very high when we're young, and then it drops. And so we can do that now. So Affinity is an amazing product. DA and PM, very powerful nutraceutical. They're not just vitamins. They were developed by Dr. Jim Papa, who's the president of the Anti-Aging Association in North America, in the U.S. And for the day and for the evening, amazing. If you have any issues with sleep, actually amazing version of the PM product. So tremendous technology. We don't have Propectin right now, which is a detox, but there's a product coming in November that also has an impact on detoxification. So that is the line, and they intentionally will keep it very tight. I will inform you that there's a product coming out in November that is for bags under the eyes. Now, right now, if you take the serum, if you have a couple of lines, it only takes away one line, it does sort of that kind of work. But if your discoloration, inflammation will diminish, discoloration not as much. With the other thing, you put it in, they did a demonstration. This is the president of the American sharing report. They did a demonstration in the boardroom, and he said, I've seen hundreds of products brought to market. I've held thousands to evaluate, and this is the only time my jaw dropped on the floor. Assessment, put it under the eye within 1 minute, and they were the worst people that they could find in the office, gone. For 8 hours, basically like a black eye and nothing. And so it lasts 8 hours. And then, so you go somewhere, whatever, boom, boom, basically removes it for 8 hours. So those are the products, and there are weight loss products that have just come out. They're going to be introduced fully in January when they're to control the cravings for carbs. So
and also act on hormones as well.
Yep.
Is it Propectin?
Yes. All that exactly. So move on now. Clinical studies. So that was important. Basically, results is within 86 days, 80% of people see results on the things that they were looking at. But people saw results overall because 100% of them said they would refer someone if would you recommend someone? 100% of them said so. So a lot of before and after in regards to these were all a piece of equipment that actually measures the fine lines and the stronger lines, deeper lines, and all that. So lots of go through all of them. You can have access to all
That
of
was
those.
amazing.
And so the real results with real
Yeah,
people.
and then the lines is what you're saying is that what people are seeing very quickly is the diminishment of the crow's feet.
What's amazing is that it is the technology just activates your own stem cell, right, to be able to do collagen and elastin and the stuff that it's supposed to do.
As we age, our stem cells get lazy.
But
And they forget to do what they're meant to do.
a bit of a sad story to a certain extent with this poor guy. He was in the study and he was an actor, and his skin was like this, and he got a part when he just got a part on TV in California. This was in California, and then his skin was amazing. He lost the part because he looked too young. Actually looked, he said, we wanted you. He said, oh, bummer. But he had better skin, so he was really happy about that part. So it was all good. Very good results again on things like this that are not just about line, but actually on skin health. Having the skin to do its own work. So that's a big deal in regards to that. That's a burn, actually. And this is actually related to the doctor.
No.
Oh, sorry,
There's
doctor.
the director of sales mother-in-law. And this happened, I think it was over Thanksgiving. She was cooking and she burned herself.
Oil and whatnot.
Yeah.
Moving on again. This is definitive.
Oh, there it
Yes,
is.
those later on.
Touch this. Touch
Good.
the speaker. Where's your phone?
Nobel Prize-winning research uncovers a fundamental cause of aging. The answer cannot be seen by the human eye and is something called a telomere. Telomeres are made of repetitive DNA sequences that become the protective caps or ends of our chromosomes. Their duty is to protect our DNA. When we are born, our telomeres are long, but as time goes on, they begin to shrink. So short, in fact, that our telomeres fray, similar to the end of a shoelace, and our journey called cellular aging begins. When telomeres become too short, our cells can no longer carry out their critical functions. Cells start to self-destruct and eventually die. Scientists call this apoptosis. Cells dying is one thing, but when cells simply stop functioning, they can spew out dangerous free radicals and inflammatory molecules that essentially damage the nearby cells. So, how do we battle this process we call cellular aging? A new treatment has been shown to naturally enhance the enzyme needed to lengthen short telomeres, thereby adding healthy life to our cells. Thousands of studies show the connection between short telomeres and the natural process of cellular aging. What's more fascinating is that this is the only substance known that can perform this in the history of all mankind. Prepare for the future. Cellular aging ends here. Youth enhancement technology exclusive to Jeunesse.
So Jeunesse has exclusive distribution rights in the direct sales industry in the world for the TA65 ingredient that is in Infinity. So great technology all around. So we talk about reserve.
The pectin, they won't have it anymore?
They won't have that. They may,
We're
but
still waiting.
yeah,
What's the story behind that?
distribution issues in regards to be able to get and provide.
It's an amazing product, very good product, endorsed by Michael Nobel from the Nobel family. But it's right now a distribution issue. So.
Because it all comes from Poland. There's a certain place where the apples are
Great
taken
about
and that
those.
stuff. So to be able to get all that, it became a bit of a problem in regards to supply it. So it's a question.
It was sent to Japan when there was the big
Tsunami. Fukushima disaster. And then there are a lot of children
Radiation.
and got exposed to radiation. It was because of Dr. Michael Nobel. They sent propectin to the Japanese people, and they measured the radiation level. And what was the reduction?
Removed 65 to 72% of the radiation that was in the body. Was able to remove it. So you imagine it could actually remove radiation out of it. It was pretty amazing. So that's why they got excited, because it can make such a difference with children when nothing else could do it. And children, actually, talking about children, it's a big cause for them. Over the last few years, they've fed 2.5 million children, actually, through Jeunesse Kids. Well, because Randy himself, one of the founders, was extremely poor. You know, they came from humble beginnings. Randy was one than humble. I mean, he didn't have any shoes when he was young. He didn't have enough food to eat. You know, we eat mud pies and his brother to just fill their stomach, kind of thing. So, if you have a chance, definitely listen to the founder's video. Quite a story. He doesn't tell the whole story because he shared even more with us. It's quite amazing what he went through. So obviously their heart is helping kids that are in it. So that's a huge thing. So Jeunesse, products everyone needs. A global opportunity. So we have access right now to doing business in over 100 countries, which is insane because we never thought in a million years that was even remotely possible. The reason why Jeunesse can do that is because Wendy and Randy were owners of another company before. They were already established in over 60 countries. So when they came with a product, they were to introduce it. We already had all the paperwork done. They said it's the same team, it's the same group, change the name of the company. For this one, we're ready to go. So they were able to go into many, many countries right away. So you're at the beginning of something, yet you have access to an international market. Normally when there's a new company, with new technologies, so within 5 years you might have 5 countries open, you're not going to have 100. So that's a huge deal. Why also is that a big deal? Because anybody you know that knows someone outside this country, guaranteed they will ask right away, is it open in France? Is it open in Italy? Is it right away? And if they're not, there's a rule company will say, well, they'll soon. Truth is extremely slow and extremely difficult to open countries for most products. So basically I have that available right now. It's exciting because people get disappointed that they can't. You're actually in this economy. Well, one of the key things that Christine and I love about the industry is that, and regardless of the company, what we love about the industry is that it gives everybody a chance to become an entrepreneur, right? To express that, to check it out. Everybody entrepreneurs? No. Does everybody can they have success? Absolutely they can. It's up to them. But what we also learn is that you need the right company. And probably the most important decision inside of the industry of network marketing is to choose the right company. Now we believe there's a lot of people that probably at heart are entrepreneurial, but you might be in a job. There's nothing wrong with a job, but of course it'll never pay as leadership can pay. So to be able to have access to a business where people can do it, that's a big deal. Traditional business is very difficult, very expensive, and extremely high rate of failure. Franchises, one-third succeed, which is better than normal, but 2/3 still don't, and normally you pay an arm and a leg, and you'll probably lose your house in the process if it doesn't work out. And on top of that, then, the reason why network marketing came out, it's often been called the people's franchise. You can start, put anything on the line, but, it's going to take some time to work. It's not network marketing, it's network marketing. So because of that reason, choosing the right company is probably the biggest decision, because even if you're really good, everybody is starting. There's a lot of people that have never been in business. So the easier it is for them, that means the less resistance in the marketplace. So what are those resistance points? Well, if you're in a market that's limited, you have an unlimited market, so not 10% of people are interested in what you might have, but 90% of people might be interested in what you have. That's a huge deal. If it's a growing market, that's also a huge deal. So the anti-aging industry, was the $300 billion a year industry, is absolutely massive for men and women. So that's a big deal there. And of course, then after that, in regards to timing, is the timing of what you have. Does 90% of people already know what you have? Or do less than 1% of people have any idea that this really exists? And that is linked to being rewarded for doing something new. Because if we weren't, nobody would start something new. But there's no benefit. I might as well wait 2 years and see what everybody else does. So the benefit of being able to assess things properly and then move forward in that and lead is a big deal. But be able to do that, and normally the upside is always a lot better than when it's new, but the risk is higher normally. So it's always, in regards to investment, in regards to business decisions, people that invest in stock, it's how can I get the most upswing, but mitigate risk as much as possible. And what's cool about this is you're right at the beginning in North America and Europe, 80% of all the business are Jeunesse, and they're going to do about $500 million in sales this year. But 80% is in Asia. Totally non-existent here right now. So total risk mitigation, but all the opportunity of a brand new company. So we just found it was, they had us at serum and they had us at the beginning of this, but it's so much more than that. Of course, a way to help others, both from a health aspect. It's driven by consumers, driven by customers. But you can also help people help themselves in business if they're so interested. And huge possibilities, of course. So Jeunesse has it all. Does it mean that 5 years, 10 years down the road, the business won't grow? Of course it will grow. Will it grow as quickly as now? No, it won't grow quite as quickly as now. There'll be people that come on board, they'll start businesses, and they'll do a lot of in-home presentation and all that. A lot of the entrepreneurs would love to find out over the next 3-4 years, right? That'd be it. So that's where we're at. So the company founded in September 2009 at 9:09 p.m. So, Feng Shui, numerology, these open in Asia, so that was put a bit of luck on your side. They're totally debt-free, profitable. They've doubled every year. They started at 30 million, then they did the following year 60 million, 126 million, 256 million, now close to $500 million. So, pretty good growth, right? They were 78 in direct selling news in 2012. They're now number 46. They moved up by 32 spots in 1 year. They're planning to be in the top 20 this year. So they're moving dramatically fast. And they're actually have been voted on the Inc. 500 list about a month ago for 2014 as the fastest growing company in the direct selling association industry.
And again, going back, it's brand new to Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's in Canada right now, 80% of what is in Canada is Asian. And
I'm talking Vancouver.
yeah, and it's Asian. It's Asian because people from China and Thailand contacted the Canadians who are Asian descendant. So it is the timing in the marketplace is absolutely incredible.
So talk about the founders when you ran.
Older me.
Oh, they're older.
Yeah.
No, but they tried. This is funny. When you look at the video, you have to look at the founders' video. They're adorable. I love them. They're so cute. They tried retiring 3 times.
So we tried
And
to
it didn't work. Because they're true entrepreneurs. They're just true entrepreneurs. And Randy says, he said, yeah, we tried it 3 times. And he said, the last time once, well, we got up one morning and when our conversation started being, where do you want to go eat today? We knew we were in trouble.
Yeah, well, he said that the toughest decision we had to make in the day is what we're going to have for breakfast. We're in trouble. And then
So
they
when
go.
they're late 60s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and some of the hardest working people, she's first in, last out, and it's crazy. It is just wired that way. But at the same time, very exciting, to contribute. They travel the world everywhere they go. I mean, literally, for the Jeunesse kids, they're literally taking kids out of the field that were left there dying, and putting money towards a place in the Ukraine where orphans could go because they're on the streets. That's the kind of thing that they do. So that's a big passion of theirs at the same time. We only live once, and it's like in the founder's video, he said, you're going to be judged to what my father told me, and he was Indian descent, North American Indian. He said, you're going to be judged by how you leave the planet and how you treated people on Earth. And so that's sort of their philosophy. So, the amazing people. This is the amazing team that they surrounded themselves with. And actually, couldn't believe it. Scott is actually Wendy's son, so Chief Visionary Officer. Rob is also partners, but he's the lawyer partner, so a bit less ownership, but he's there. There's Ryan and Darren here. Christine and I knew out of the fact that he owned 2 companies that he brought up to over 100 million in sales, and 2 of them went to the top 100 list in the DSA. So we were shocked he was there. When we went there, Darren, why are you here? And he said, he chuckled. He said, I get a lot of that. He started as a consultant for the company, but then he took on a position, and he said, the reason why is that I was here when the sales of this company were 1 million a month. Right, 1 million a month. And he said to him, why are you here? He said, well, because this is the next giant. And he said, why is this the next job? He said, it's almost like trying to explain to someone how salt tastes. Unless you've been around it, and he's worked for companies that have gone over $1 billion in sales a year. He said, unless you've been around it, it's all the ingredients. I can see the product. I can see the people. All everything was there. I've just been through with this. And this is right at the beginning of it. So, marketing expert, and it's also a bit of a family thing. Son,
Sister.
well, these two are sisters, and they're the granddaughter of Wendy. So it's they've been around often for 20 years with them. So it's a family industry when you do go there. The reason why I'm mentioning all that, in the industry, in the company that I was with, even for 20 years, and like I said, I couldn't get 5 minutes there, and it was business, and it was passed on. It was the heart was out of it, and when it becomes that way, it changes how the decisions are made at the top for you. It becomes about the company, not as much obviously they're responsible fiscally for the company, but is it the right decisions for the distributors? That's what you get from this company. That's a huge deal. Because we don't control the daily decision, but they do, so good people. They're actually now in 32 offices worldwide and over 100 countries right now, so quite a bit. Compensation plan, there's 6 ways you can earn money in Jeunesse. There's retail profit, there's new customer acquisition bonus, and as you're starting your business, there's rapid income, that's a big deal. Team commission and leadership, matching bonus are commission ways that people are assisted to be able to make faster decisions, and also cooperation within entire teams, because there's reason financially for them to do so. The comp plan supports that. There's also leadership matching bonus so that you're rewarded for personal sponsoring and building a larger team than a smaller one. So of course, you're rewarded for your personal activity, which is really big. Customer acquisition incentive, the whole business is about acquiring customers. And overall, so any business should be. They've done amazing incentive. Frankly, the best compensation plan I've seen to attract customers. You basically get 2 customers, $99 each for the reserve, and you basically get 2 bottles, not for the reserve or serum, you get 2 bottles of serum for free, plus $50. So an amazing program, we can talk about that in a bit. And leadership bonus, that's just to ensure that as you get to the top level of diamond, you share in profitability of the company, so all the diamonds benefit of working together, so you get a really good holistic work ethic in regards to the teams pulling together. So there's the levels as you move forward, and things are moving very, very quickly. Now we just came on board, but she's already, I don't know, close to Pearl, almost on fire. We're going to get that way. Actually, she's close to that. And so what's interesting here is that the check match. It means people that you sponsor, you'll generate 20% of what they make, or 15 or 10%. Normally that happens in much later in the leadership levels. It happens really early in Jeunesse. And so you get rewarded very, very quickly for the work that you do. So great comp plan for the ones that understand the industry a little bit. So they call it a hybrid comp plan where there's binary and unilevel. So no need to go through all the levels, but very good results.
The harder is better.
Yes. As quickly, and we will help you to get there as quickly as you want. And certainly talk about all the different income averages that are there at each level. $29.95 is how much it costs US to do Jeunesse right now. We're actually in pre-launch in Canada, if you want to look at it that way. Fully open in Ontario and BC, meaning you can actually do public advertising. In the other provinces, probably in about 60 days or so it will be. They can still do the business and all of that. They just can't do public advertising. But
I just, it's amazing to me that, like, the Quebec team has grown so much.
Yeah, it's not even no public advertising.
Not even really.
Yeah.
Advertising in like
newspaper and all that to the open public.
Media.
Yeah, you can do Facebook and all that stuff, but you're not allowed
to distribution.
Here you are in Ontario.
Yeah.
You can do
Fascinating,
newspaper
It's
ad.
very new then. Like this is extremely new.
It is so new.
Yeah.
Did you tell them how you found out about it now?
And I've heard of it already. From my neighbor down the street who's Jen.
Interesting.
I know.
And that's where you're normally going to hear
There
it.
you
She
go.
told me the other day
Chinese.
when I was walking the dog.
No.
You should let us know. I said, no, it's not so. It's special. It's amazing. You should try it. And then she walked off. I don't know.
Are you serious?
No, you're serious.
nest in the
I think there's a maybe.
I think there's a
sign or
I
something.
think it's
Yeah.
a
It's
sign.
very interesting.
Well, when we,
I hasn't left though, because I didn't. This was before you and Kevin spoke even. So
Wow.
This was months ago.
Wow.
That's amazing. When we found out, one of the questions that I had when I met the people on the Tuesday after the Monday over the Canada AM thing, I'm pretty convinced that these products are not for real, which I thought was ridiculous. What about the timing of the marketplace? That's the next step, right? Are we with the end tail end of this thing? Am I the last one to find out? And I knew I'd been able to Google the night before. I fell asleep at 3 in the morning. I had to get up at 5 a.m. to be on TV at 7. It was really because I couldn't stop. Like, you're kidding me. This is for real. And I found that they did 126 million in 2012. And then I found out they're about to do 250 over the next few months. But I said, how much of that is here? I mean, where is that? It's nice and dandy for the company, but it doesn't help me. I said, how much are the sales in Canada? Well, in November last year, there were 150,000 a month, which is non-existent. 1.5 million a month in the U.S., under 20 million a year in all of North America, including the U.S., which is the biggest marketplace in the world, always for all companies. And out of that, 256 million, 20 was here. The rest, Asia. So that was a really big deal. That's a program. 2 preferred customers is paid for you. For anybody that hasn't been in the industry, this is the best program we've ever seen. And now, more and more companies have programs similar to help people get their products for free because that's, we stick around. But normally, you get 3 customers, you get 1 product free. Here, you get 2 customers, you get 2 products free. It's incredible. Plus $50 on top of that. So it's quite the best product in the marketplace. The binary that we talked about, this is what we call team commissions. That helps cooperation, because when you sponsor someone, you sponsor this person here, you might sponsor this person here, and then this person sponsors someone here, and you can sponsor someone here. You place them underneath people, right? So everybody sort of works together because there's financial reasons to do so. There's financial benefits to do so. In the traditional approach, there wasn't. You sponsor everybody side by side, and if they succeed, there's no work together. There's probably just a good idea. But there's no financial reasons to do so. So everybody's competitive. Here, they would all put people underneath each other and thus help each other. It's a really cool system. When there's 300 points is received when sales are done by anybody in the team. 300 points, 600, you receive $35. And that is to almost infinity. Actually, once you hit 26,250 US per week in payments to you, then they stop. Most people can do okay, but most people can do okay. Only a few people complain, but it's not good. So the highest check actually, by Kim Wee, who started and sponsored 5 people in Asia. When she started, to give you an idea of the potential, she makes 750,000 a month right now. 100,000 is the binary.
I can't even fathom.
That's 100,000 is the binary. 650 is the rest.
And how long ago did she start?
She's the one there, the husband said.
Yeah.
So here's what happened in the story. Basically, when you're married, this is going to be amazing. Let's start a company. They were in California. Kim Wee was in California. They call, and they meet her, actually. They meet with her.
But Kim Wee was already with their other network marketing company. So that's how they were able to open all these markets so quickly, is because they had another network.
And all her business for the other company was in Asia, because you couldn't really do it in North America. The product they had was not conducive to this market. You actually weren't able, it was something you put in gas tanks, you couldn't do it in North America. But you could do it in Asia. So people wonder, well, how come? It's a Florida company, and they're 80% in Asia. Why? Because that's where all the leadership was already. And so she listened to them, and she decided she wasn't going to do it. Too weird. Skin thing. She didn't know anything about skincare. So she went back home. Kimmy was not going to do anything. And she told her husband, when he ran me to town, and he told me about this thing, about stem cell. Her husband's a doctor. He stopped. He said, look, no. Oh, you call them right back. That is the future. That is, you call them back and you say yes. Call back and the rest is history. So there you go. You never drive one little decision. Many bonuses, amazing trips all the time. Every quarter they have incentives. It gets ridiculous. There's so many things to win all the time.
Actually, we won a cruise.
We did.
What?
We won this is sad. Well, not sad. We won an Alaska cruise.
Yeah.
This in July. but we couldn't go because we had already booked our summer vacation in New Brunswick and our cottage was booked, and we go visit my grandmother who's still alive. And we couldn't really bring the kids on the cruise, and they're still little. They're 5 and 6. So traveling for like 8-9 days is not. So we actually gave it to somebody in our team.
Oh,
that's really nice.
nice.
That's good you're able to do that too.
Yep, exactly.
Very nice. Nice and fresh, right? Yeah.
Very generous with that. So, so basically for us, whenever we talk to people, it's not about, the business is never about convincing people. It never is about that. It's about sharing information. It either resonates or it doesn't. That's, that. Where we're very excited about, when we started, based on all of our evaluation experience over the last 20 years, we thought, well, this should go pretty fast. We've never seen it. This, literally, I had been out of the industry. I was supporting Christine. I've been out of the industry for 4 years at that time. And there were criteria that I was never going to bend on, right? It never going to happen. And those were a consumable product, because then it's repeat sales and you get a customer, you have to find the customers all the time. It had to be visual, something would happen very quick, something people could see in some way. And it had to be brand new in the marketplace. It had to be protected, so patent pending, had to do that. And so I pretty much gave it up. I figured it wasn't going to happen. We had some good product that were not revolutionary, but they were good. Well, forget about my idea because we're not going to find that. And normally, something like that, what I was looking for, would look and smell like Jeunesse. It would be something you have a hard time believing because nobody's heard about it, right? So that's where we're at. So great that now we invited you, and of course, if you choose to move forward, we're going to be there every step of the way to help you guys out. We're going to take questions.